Hey guys, so TheGamingSandwich here. So I'm going to talk to you about my branded dogmatika deck. I've made some improvements. I'm really happy with the build. I know you guys more kind of here if they OSG stuff or like that kind of way, but I feel like this thing requires some explanation why I play this as like a secondary deck. Plus also it's very similar to meta, but it sort of isn't at the same time. So we go 3 for Arbaz. I usually end up drawing 1, and I always need to like 2 in the deck, so it's fine. 3 is okay. It's sort of a break, but it isn't, so it's okay. 2 Blazing Cartesia, its effective fuse is really good. The Incredible Ecclesia, you don't really use it for shooting out the Arbads as much. It's more the case of the fact that it's just a free add to hand, and it just basically it's a mandatory, so it forces a response to this automatically. Timakura, your counter trap, sorry, your hand trap, pseudo hand trap. It's really good because when you get this, you can like add this to hand, and then you can add your next one, which is kit. Now, the reason I'm playing free kit is because of cash. Now, hear me out, hear me out. So when this can add a branded fusion or branded spell card from your graveyard as well as your deck. So the idea is if you're going against the cash matchup, it's just nice if you've resolved one of branded fusions and you say you had this and not this instead of a Luba, you don't have to dig through your deck and deck thing yourself. We're kind of getting closer to a deck out. So that's why this comes in. There's also other reasons why this is there. So we'll go 3 random fusion. I don't feel like this really needs an explanation. And then we'll go for like my extras. So we'll go 1 red, 1 white, 1 banishment. I'm not playing expulsion in this list. I could do. I do feel it's the better way to go. I'm just feeling like saying to everyone like this is really kind of the way I'm going with this is it's a bit more combo heavy and a lot more kind of like intensely reliant on what you're doing in terms of like your setups and plays. But you're kind of like bluffing them into thinking you are playing that build, and then you kind of do your other plays instead. So the next part, when you're playing 2 Despia, I'm playing 1 Aluba, 1 Tragedy. That's it. So part of that, this part goes, this part's quite budget friendly. So yeah, those 2 are quite nice. The next thing we're also playing is 2 Bysteals. We're playing 1 Magnemite and 1 Juris Worm. If you want, you can sort out some of the other cards to get like a the Bysteel Rebellion. If you really want to go that route with it, I wouldn't say no. I just this is the way I feel like it works for me. So we are now running also a mini dogmatic patch. So we're running 3 Ecclesia, 3 Fleur, and 1 Nidir 7. So Fleur constitutes as another hand trap. So in that case, you're running 5 at this point so far. So you're running 5 hand traps. The Nidir 7 is really good for kind of like tutoring out and like flexing your plays. Because remember earlier, the Incredible Ecclesia works with all of these cards in your hand. So the Incredible Ecclesia is much more versatile, and it's like if you've got too much of one thing, you can sub out and make it a fusion. So yeah, it really kind of works out. The synergy with it is really good. Kind of like keeping this kind of like mini chaos engine going. So the next thing we're going to go for I'm going to talk about is hand traps. So can't have hand traps without talking about Call by the Grave. So yeah, we're then running 2 Effect Veiler and 2 Ghost Ogre. The reason we're not, these could easily be Imperm or Ash. Now, again, hear me out. If you've got 2 of these in hand, or 2 of these in hand, and you've got an incredible Cartesia, so if you've got a Cartesia on the field, these are now fusions targets. So that's the whole reason we're running this. It's all about that extra synergy of going, this hand trap works for the deck and it's really good, but it also works with Cartesia, which is what we're going for. We're going for everything in this deck is dual usage. We don't want any card that kind of works solely by itself. We want it to have more than one function. This is what we're going for with the world. Then we've got got General's Ditch. So we've got a Twin Twister, a God's Arc, 1 Foolish Burial, and 2 Fusion Deployment. The reason we're running Twister is because it's reactive. It's a nice card that goes well in the I guess like the Labyrinth or Trap Trick. They set stuff you can just like go cool. I'm just gonna pop it during the end phase. So in that way, it's a bit more reactive than say like Harpies or something like that. Plus, also it can send something to the grave, which can be quite nice for like setups for later. God's Arc is just a really good tutor card. Foolish Burial again. These 2 cards are insane in this deck. Fusion Deployment basically. I used to run this because I couldn't get free copies of Incredible Ecclesia, the Sword Soul one. So I just basically went, oh, okay, cool. I'll get fusion deployments instead because it constitutes the same kind of thing. And then it was like, oh, okay, we were using this for Cartesia, so it just happened to work out really well for me. And then the last two cards we're running are tech cards, so we run one Decisive Battle of Gondola and one Tier Elements Happiness. The Happiness is really good for cycling back and just allowing you to extend later on into the game. Just like sending this off, like i.e. a Foolish Burial, like mid to late game, or for Brand Fusion is disgusting. So yeah, hitting the camera again. Decisive Battle is really good because it's a destruction negation. So if so, well, not negation, it prevents the destruction as a whole as a passive effect. So it's his card, so it includes itself. So if you have like say this, this, and this, and then you kind of have Rigeki, you can send for that. And then if they can play half fusion, you can still send for it as well. So it's really good. But it has to be a fusion with Fallen Arbas in the name. But as you know, like the deck pretty much runs those in the extra deck. So we run. These are weird ones. So we're running one Striker Dragon, two Drago, because these are how we go. And then like your two Despia things with your Coitus and your Masquerade, your Cartesia Fusion. You'll want to add your Mercuria, you want to start your Despia, one to get your kit, 2 Lavelium because they're useful, 2 Albion again because they're very useful, and then 2 Mirror Jade. I feel like this is really, really nice for me. When I'm getting things ripped out of my extra deck, they really, really don't know what to hit. So I find that really fun. So I'll show you like some of the more fun ones you can do is like literally. So if you look through all of the deck. So I remember starting off with like a really fun hand. It was like, oh, we'll have this, and it's like, oh, I've got this, and I believe it was like the Mercuria. I got some like I get some stupid hands with this deck. I believe it was that. And you just look at it. I'll say this is like a kind of like a really like wonky hand because you can do some really fun plays. So you can go Arbas, Link into Striker, Special Cartesia, and then you can fuse those. So that's into that. So we've gone 1, 2, 3. This is our 4th summon. So we always remember that's the 4th summon. So we'll go Channeling 1, Channeling 2. So we'll add we'll add the Aluba, the Booba to hand. So we'll add Aluba, so we have follow up for next turn. We've still got this. We'll then fire off this bad boy. We'll send Titaniclad. And then we'll go main 1. We'll set this. We'll proceed to end phase. End phase will be Titaniclad and then Cartesia. Cartesia will get added to a hand. Titaniclad will get to the 1. So if you're feeling like was it? Then you could add then Dogmatika Ecclesia. And then you could either go, if you wanted to, you can either go random red. So you could either go grab this to hand and then fuse with something in hand if you wanted to get the the Masquerade out, or you can go add this to hand, fuse these two. Going into Mirror Jade. And you've really not lost anything in terms of like value here. So I feel like this is fine. So because I've done it before where literally you can just like go through the different bits and you just got loads of plays. This isn't even like, I just feel like this is really good because you've got this that can will special, this which will special, this is your normal. Just such a good line. Just having like the Striker Dragon as an option is really fun because it just doesn't limit your plays. So like let's see, like if you've got a loaded graveyard, like just the Haveness being sent off the Random Fusion is so disgusting because let's say at the turn before you've got anything in the, like you've got a Mirror Jade there, in the grave. We'll say that. And you've got, say, a bestial. Say we've got halfness. So we'll go with that. So we'll say. So I'll say this is my hand. We'll go branded fusion. We'll have a look for where it is. There. To say these two are my. So we'll say this is my hand here. So you'll go branded fusion. We'll send. So we'll send those two. So we'll send these two there, and we'll make Libellion, which is fine. Then we'll go Libellion will be like chilling 1, chilling 2. So we can either go. So you have like a few lines here, so you could either go. Halfness can either put back itself and the Cartesia and get out the Cartesia fusion, or you can go cool. I'm gonna put back these two. We'll get out the Dragus Paleo, and you could also then fuse these two. You could easily have gone for the Mirror Jade. Then we'll activate that effect. Setting that. Then during the aim phase we'll get that, and then she'll add this. There we go. So yeah, for 2 cards, finishing up on a. Sorry about that. On a. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're talking 2 negates and an interruption. Absolutely disgusting just for 2 cards and a bit of setup. Not bad. So I do apologise, my camera lens isn't exactly the best at this point in time. I'm trying to do this while my son's asleep. But yeah, hope you guys like it and a few of the demonstrations. I'm sorry, like, if anyone wants me to go in depth about... I will not say the Dogmatika build is better. I would say it has a much more interactive gameplay state. But yeah, just talk to me, have a little bit of a laugh. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and I will try and make more content. With Ice Jade, if you want me to, I'd like you to post some rulings and stuff on. So if you want to have like some ruling interactions of Ice Jade versus things, I can do those for you. Bradley, I'm not that much versed on, but Ice Jade are very good with knowing interactions and ruling. So if you want to ask me any of those questions, please feel free to. Okay, cool. Thanks very much, guys. See you later.